Well, thank you.
Welcome back to Pardon Me, Brother. This is session 3 of episode 8 with Dad missing.
Yes.
Big Jim missing.
Big Jim.
Yeehaw!
Isn't it Big Red Jim? What was the name of that toy? Big Jim. It was Big Jim, wasn't it?
It's just,
He
I
turned
think it was
red.
Big Jim. Yeah, he turned red.
You remember that toy, Dad?
Yeah. Dad was the initial artist for that one.
You remember that toy you got me? The Big Jim character, and he had the big Jeep and stuff.
And his face would turn.
And you push a button on his back, and his face would turn red.
Yep.
Flip around.
Big Jim.
Oh my God. Welcome back here. We're in session 3, so we'll head on into it. Jim, what you got?
All right. What was it like raising us three kids as kids? What was it like raising us?
Great.
Great.
It was good. As a parent yourself, when you think about raising your children, it's always good.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. You know, you think about, sure, there were some times when it was stressful or whatever, but to have children is a reward. Mm-hmm. And not everybody has that opportunity. And to watch them grow up and turn into adults, that's the best word I can think of. It's great.
Yeah. I agree. Well, obviously, because he's forgotten about all the other things
Yeah.
we've been discussing.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I've turned the camera off. So now tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Oh
got,
my
Grant?
gosh. Well,
What you got?
this one's kind of on a little more of a serious note. I know, it's like, what was it like raising these kids and all that, but am I going up or down, by the way? You want me to do the...
Start 15, man.
All right, we're going to do number 15 here on the list, but, and this one's a little bit more of a thinker, Dad. And the question on this one is, what do you think is the one major thing that you wish today's youth would consider or pay more closer attention to? Is there something that today's youth either isn't considering or thinking about, or you just wish that they would pay closer attention to this for society today?
Oh, that's really difficult.
Not necessarily
because
Abby.
Yeah, no.
All youth.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got our attention.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it's just, I think it depends upon the age group you're referring to as youth. If you're talking about young adults,
Yes, sir.
I think what comes to my mind today, because of the way things are today, I would have to say politics.
Okay.
I think it's something that they need to consider and understand. And by talking to some students now, they're not getting a proper education on politics. They're not really being told the ins and outs and the importance of politics.
Okay.
So I think that's very important.
Almost like they're being groomed by each party to a certain degree.
Well, to
you think?
understand what the parties are for, what they represent, and what the consequences are by not making good decisions.
Got it.
I think they just don't, their life is busy. They're trying to grow up. Mm-hmm. But I think the school should be instilling some of this.
Okay.
Okay.
16?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is another head scratcher, okay? And this is probably the most serious question that we're going to be dealing with or facing.
I know what his
with.
answer's going to be already.
And, yeah, me too. It's going to be that couch jumping stuff. Is there one thing in your life, what's the one thing out of your life that you regret?
I'm wearing a thicker jacket while golfing.
I don't really have many regrets.
Good.
My life has been good. I've been involved in a lot of things. I guess I wish I would have went to college and maybe had a more formable education. And there could have been something better for a job than the job I had, even though my job was good and rewarding. But there's a lot of avenues out there. You know, maybe I could have done more for you guys and for the family. So the regret would have to be maybe education.
Okay.
That's a good
That's
answer.
a good answer.
That's a very good answer. I think,
It wasn't the generic nothing. I don't regret anything answer I thought we were going to get.
no, but I think I have an actual better answer for Dad on that. Would you like to hear it?
That he didn't have 3 girls?
Don't be a crybaby.
No. I think Dad's regret was that in 1986 when he went to that golf outing in Cary, Ohio, that he did not come home with that white 1969 Dodge Charger that I asked him to buy. That's Dad's one regret in life.
That's your regret.
Damn right it is. Anyways, moving on, Jim. What do you got next for Dad?
Okay. What's a fond memory you have of when your kids were under the age of 18 years?
Ooh.
All 3 of us.
Bum,
It
bum,
can be
bum,
a fond memory. Just
Yeah, it can be a
one of all
combination
3
of
of
all
us,
of us.
or
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah.
just generic, like swimming or something like that.
Well, it's hard to go back to when you're 5 or you're 7 or you're
Right.
8 because the memories that you think about are the most recent.
Right.
Sure.
So, and I think in most respects, I think with Cindy and Grant, that one of the fondest of my memories is when they got their first cars or driving. In Cindy's case, she didn't get her car right away. She was driving a vehicle that we had. Now,
The
when
Nova.
Grant started
Chevrolet
driving,
Nova.
yes, it was. And a story on top of that, Cindy may not appreciate me telling, but the first day she drove it to work, she locked the keys in the car.
I knew it.
I knew it had to be hard for her to call me and say, Dad.
Oh, sure.
It had to be difficult, but I understood, I did. But those were good memories. As far as you, Jim, all the weekends that we got to be together were good memories. I wish there had been more,
Yeah.
but you're my son and I love you, and so all the memories are good.
It was nice because I think we got to do a lot on the weekends that I came over, specifically because I was there.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
3 of us were together, so we got to do stuff.
Well, and that was a lesson that I learned, because I had kind of a repeat of the same deal, So, I had the divorce and I had, 2 children from a previous marriage. So when they came over, I think I learned from Dad and from that experience that, okay, when the kids are all here, let's take advantage of the time that we have.
Right.
So it seemed like we were always busier,
Yeah.
right, on those weekends when we had all the kids.
Makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like the pool was a blessing for us because it was something that you guys got to do when I was working.
Sure.
So, I didn't always have the time to be there. And I thought, to my mind, you guys were still having a good time.
Right.
I think too with the pool, it keeps the kids in your house, keeps the kids at your house.
Yeah.
So if friends are involved, they're coming over. So
Yeah.
your kids are still there. They're still in the yard, whether they're playing with their friends out of the pool.
Right.
They're still at your house,
Absolutely.
and that helps.
Yes. Yes, it does.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think the next question is incredible.
I can't believe you left it for me. You're sneaky. That was a good little.
Okay.
And for the people in the kitchen, I went. All right, Dad. I need to know. And this is I said it wrong. This is the most serious question in this podcast. So, okay. How were you able to deal with and handle that your son kept falling out of the bed all the time, out of the top bunk? Tell us that story about hearing the dead body fall 8 feet.
Fall out of the top bunk a lot?
Oh, no, that'd be you, buddy. That'd be you.
I don't remember.
You showed me the lump a second ago when you showed me the haircut in the back. It's still got a lump right there.
There is?
So, no. So, Dad, tell us about that whole story with your eldest who wouldn't stay in his bed.
Well, we got accustomed to it. Um, it was getting to be quite regular occurrence. I don't know why he thrashed in bed as much as he did. We even got a crossbar to put on the side of the bed so that he would stay in bed. And then what you would hear would be first the crossbar hit the floor, and then he would hit the floor.
Oh my God.
Let's say it wasn't the thump that woke them up; it was the bar going. Dang, 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 dang.
But
Dude, I lost sleep over that. So you laugh, but I lost sleep.
and we even tried to get you guys to switch, but he wouldn't. Jimmy wouldn't switch those.
I'm the oldest. I go on the top.
Yeah. Yeah. You look, go ahead and give me the look.
Play
but
your
yeah,
clip.
you did.
So what
You're
we,
gonna do that? Play your clip.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
but our
Be a
resolve,
crybaby.
Yeah.
our resolve was we took the bunk beds apart.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was because we were worried about him.
Well, yeah.
So we took the beds apart, so he had a lot less distance.
Didn't you, Dad? Didn't you start to line the floor with pillows, assuming the fall?
We tried, but he never hit those. He'd always hit the floor.
How the hell did you? How did you miss the pillows on the floor at the? Oh my God.
I don't
I
want a
think-
soft landing. What would be
I
the
think
fun
his
in that?
brother was moving him.
Yeah, you don't know. See, but Grant was. If you had a camera, you'd have seen Grant taking his feet, kicking the middle of the bed every time.
That's what it was.
That's what it
happening.
was.
Yep. Okay.
It's because you wore
He
my
found-
moon boots,
he
man.
found
You
that
wore my
long-
moon boots.
You
That
know,
resolves that mystery.
did you know Grant hit me for wearing his boots? Did you hear that? We haven't gone over that story yet.
Shush.
He punched me in the face for wearing his moon boots. And guess how long I wore them for?
It was in the 70s. Okay, it was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Moon
Dad.
boot. What are moon boots, by the way? I don't even remember what they were.
They don't even exist. He's making this
We
up.
call Mom in for this one. Mom, what are moon boots
Oh, for God's sake.
that Grant had to have?
That's one small step for man.
Were they special? They were to Grant.
One giant leap for man.
Did you know he punched me over his moon boots? See, I never told
Yeah.
anybody. I took it like a man.
Yeah, you did.
I think I laughed.
After you crawled out of the closet.
I was still laughing though. The story goes, Mom asked me to take out the trash, so I did. But I was in jammies and pajamas and socks, so I threw on Grant's moon boots because they slipped right on.
Yeah.
And I come back inside and I'm in the closet taking them off, and he comes walking up behind me and goes, "Who said you could wear my moon boots?" And he punched me in the face. Yeah. You punched me over that?
They were all gray. So, yeah, they were awesome. They looked like they really were off the moon.
Awesome.
And that was Abby, by the way, coming through the screen there. So, you know,
Crybaby.
back in that time, they were good. All right, I'll do it.
Don't be a crybaby.
There you go. How's a crybaby? How's a crybaby? All right, now we've come to one of the fun ones. Mm-hmm. We're, you know, Dad, we've been playing this clip, which is,
Don't be a crybaby.
you know who that is?
Do 24 first.
No.
Do 24 first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's go. We're heading back to Fleet Road. We're on Fleet Road. And in the summertime, you just made mention that, you know, we had the pool. And we were always swimming there during the day, obviously, when you're at work. So tell everybody what it was like coming home and your two sons were trying repeatedly for 2 decades to be able to throw you in the pool.
I look forward to it. I couldn't come around the gate without being attacked.
Didn't you sometimes try to go a different way to like sneak up on us? Because you knew we were going to try and grab you as soon as you walked in the gate.
No, because I wanted you to. It was always a thought. I could tell you about the time when I allowed you to throw me in the pool. I came home.
No!
I came home and I took everything out of my pockets, put it in the glove box, and I made up my mind that it was time to let you guys do it. So that's what I did.
You hear that, Nathan? He did it again.
Yeah, I'm calling BS on
Always
that.
being a dad.
I'm calling BS on that one. Jim, why don't you tell your version or our version of when Dad went in the pool, when we finally threw him in the pool? We achieved
Our
glory.
version.
Yeah, our version, because Dad's version is, oh, I let you throw me in the pool. I think our version is a little
But did
different.
we do something different? Did we work out a little that week or what? I
We
mean,
worked out every day, every day.
I thought we just got lucky.
No,
And apparently we did.
There was so many times that Dad would be walking through there, and this is what really ticked us off. He had a lunchbox, right? The old style. Think about the old lunchboxes, right? So he'd have this lunchbox, and he's walking through there. One of us would be hiding somewhere. The other one's hiding around the gate or whatever. Dad comes walking through. One guy attacks. I think it was typically you. And then okay, get him. And then I'd come around wherever I was at, and I'd grab him. And this sucker here, right here, that guy, wouldn't even put his lunchbox down. He would walk over to the pool and just go like, flick. And then one goes in, and then he'd grab the other one. Then he'd walk in the house.
Yeah.
And that happened for decades.
Yeah, he never set the lunchbox down.
He didn't set the lunch, and then after a while, we're like, he's going to either go in with the lunchbox or at least he's going to set it down. So then the one day that I remember that he came home, he walks up and he puts the lunchbox down on the picnic table right there. And I almost want to say that you said, we got him, almost like verbally out loud, because he's worried enough that he's going to put the lunchbox down so we could get him, And then we grabbed him, and I just remember him going, "Oh!" I heard Dad go, "Oh!" Right, because he's losing his balance, and we're grabbing him, and I'm down on the ground by his foot, and I saw his foot come off the concrete just a little bit, right, about like that, and I'm slowly edging him backwards towards the pool, and you had him all occupied with his upper body, and then next thing you know, we just all tipped backwards, and we went in. We're like, "Yeah!"
We did go in with him, right?
Oh, well, of course, it's a swimming pool. We lived in that thing. We had webbed feet for crying out loud.
Yes.
But that's what I remember with Dad, is that he never put that stinking lunchbox down, and we were nothing. We were like, Raisinets. Flick.
Speaking of the pool and us being in it all the time, Dad, do you remember coming home from work and needing a Band-Aid and there weren't any because they were on all our toes?
I remember that I knew how long you guys had been in the pool because you had your socks on.
Yeah.
Because our feet were so bloodied from
Yes, from bloody feet.
crawling up that pool.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys want ice cream, go ahead in the freezer and get it. No, my feet hurt. I'm not going to get it.
it got
you
to be-
get it.
Your feet hurt so bad, we wouldn't get out of the water because it
That's
just
right.
hurt too bad.
Yeah. Well,
Lived in that pool.
Well, and obviously pools were manufactured differently back then. This was all full-on concrete, and we didn't just
always
walk on the floor.
Crawled out the side too.
But we'd
which you're not
crawl
supposed
up
to
the
do.
side of the pool with our feet. So, I mean, it was just like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, just killed them like that. Well, thanks, Dad. That was interesting for you to tell that.
Show him those two pictures I sent you
crap
before you
story.
go to the next.
Oh, we
segment.
got some more pictures here?
See if he knows
Okay,
these
let's see what we
people.
got here. We got some more people here. Hold on, Dad. This is what Jimmy calls dead air. So we're going to do this. Boop. Here we go. You know who this is.
I know he knows who that is.
That's my buddy Lloyd and his wife Diane.
Is that Darlene or Diane?
Diane.
Diane, okay.
She lives in Florida now, full
Does she?
time. Yeah.
What part of Florida?
I knew what it was. It's not a big town. It's a little town.
No kidding.
Her and her second husband, they live down there. Now Lloyd lives on the east side, over on Platt Street.
Were they together when you got married?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were still together, right?
yeah. They, I think they got divorced maybe 3-4 years after, something like that.
Because I remember Diane. I don't really remember her face or anything, but I remember Lloyd and Diane. Lloyd and Diane. I always remember that.
Yeah,
So I know she had to been around for a little
It was quite a
while.
few years later that they got divorced.
Yeah.
How about these folks right here?
Mhm. How about those?
I know
Go
who
ahead
that
and
is.
zoom in a little on each person so you can see it.
Yep, that's brother George and wife Judy. She just passed away, by the way.
She did?
Yeah, she just did. Like a week or so.
Yeah, just about a week ago.
Yeah, Meryl had put a real nice thing on Facebook in regards to it, and I sent a message out to Meryl and Mike, and I sent Susie a text message, and she replied. I don't have contact with Jackie, so I'm not sure how to get a hold of her. She's not on Facebook either anymore, so she's pulled herself off. But anyways, I tried to reach out to everybody that I could, but Yeah. Yeah. It was brother George and wife Judy. And this was in, check this out again. You see the writing on this one. It says the Republic of China Pavilion.
You know where that is, Dad?
Republic of China
I don't know
Pavilion.
where
Where is
that
that,
would
Jim?
be.
Dan?
The New
Could have
York,
been Chinatown in New York.
the New York World's Fair, 1965.
No kidding.
Yep.
Is that what that was?
How
I
about
went to
that?
the World's Fair.
Did you?
Yep.
Why didn't you take me?
You
weren't
weren't born yet.
So in essence, you did take me.
Moron.
That's what all the kids do. Well, oh, no fair, you didn't take me. You weren't born,
Born
so I don't care. You should have had me first.
I wasn't born yet either.
All right, Dad, we're going to go back to, this is our last one? Pretty much our last question?
Pretty much.
I think it is. So, but there's quite a bit involved here. So, one of our fondest memories, Dad, that Jim and I have as kids growing up that we just always laugh about and talk about was the topic of our last podcast that hasn't aired yet, which was all about World Wrestling Federation.
Oh,
And, about, Macho Man Savage and Hulk Hogan and all those guys. So we talked about, on that podcast, we talked about, Jim getting us tickets, Jim and I getting tickets, and us going to Toledo and seeing the wrestlers when they were there. And we talked about how we initially got you involved in watching it at home, right? So we always thought that was kind of funny how, you come around the corner and go, I don't watch this, and then later you're like, well, who's that guy? Well, he's pretty big. Okay, why is he mad at that guy? So it's like a male, what do we call it, a soap opera, And do you remember starting to watch that stuff with us when we were kids and that? What did you think about that?
it's there's a lot of memories there. I can remember the first time when we went to a match down at the Toledo Sports Arena and we
You
got
do?
front row seats.
Wow. Anything you want to say about that? Any memorable? Yeah, why don't you tell
We
that
already
story,
discussed
Dad?
it last week, so we can discuss it again.
Yeah, we wanted to discuss it with you.
We want to hear what you had to say about that.
I have to say that I was surprised,
You
but
think?
not shocked. It was a good time. It was a good time. It was all in fun.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I was too understanding, but
No, I don't think so.
it was just a good time, and I enjoyed whatever you guys enjoyed. Truthfully,
We were older. We were 16.
You were out of high school.
I was 18, 19, so you were 17,
So I was
18,
16, 17 years
16.
old.
Yeah, so we were older.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
it
what
was
Dad's really
just
saying
three guys having a good time.
that he
Yeah.
he was surprised but not shocked by your filthy mouth. that's what Dad is nicely saying.
Do you remember exactly how it happened? Because we do.
there was was it Barry Horowitz?
Barry Horowitz, it was.
Oh my God, he remembers his name.
I love it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember someone getting up on a chair, standing up,
Who was it, Jim? Yep.
and yelling profanities.
In what I would consider a very organized manner, by the way. That was pretty impressive.
Very organized manner.
Oh, God, I thought I was going to die.
Grant,
It
you
was
just
just a good time.
Grant, you
It
describe it how
was.
you tell the story because I like the way you
It's
tell
just-
the story
well,
with the
you
popcorn.
know.
The popcorn. Dad's eating popcorn.
All right, I'll tell it again.
Give us your reaction.
I remember we're going there, and I think Dad was driving, and we're like, okay, but and I just remember you and I talking. Oh, this is gonna be so much good time, and one of us went, well, wait a minute. What if Horowitz is there? We're gonna be in trouble
The
because
backstory is
that
Grant and I hated
Yeah,
Barry Horowitz.
yeah, I knew that.
yeah, Dad knows that.
Yeah.
He knows all. He's known about that for a long time. But at this point, Dad didn't know. So we're like, oh, and I remember you going, we'll be fine. It's no big deal. We'll be fine. I go, but I think Dad's heard me say hell is the most horrible word ever that he's heard me say. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get away with that, okay? But anyways, so we get there, and we're sitting down. And I think if I remember correctly, it was Jim, then you, Dad, and then me.
Right.
Am I saying that right?
Yep.
And then we get the card, right? You know, they pass out the card. So I'm looking at, okay, well, this guy. Oh, God. Barry Horowitz is wrestling third. Jimmy, we got to be careful because if Barry Horowitz comes out, and you're like, I got it. And I'm like, I'm trying to point around you, like going in front, like, you know, and Jim's like going, it's fine, I got it, right? And we all know we don't have it. Jim, you never had it. So then he gets out there, and he gets in the ring, and I'm sitting there going, Jimmy is going to be the death of us both because he's going to scream his favorite thing to say to this guy, which is horrific.
Horrific. Yeah, that was it.
I mean, you had at one point in another match, Dad, you weren't there, but in another match, Jim had the entire corner area that we're sitting at in unison with us screaming this profanity at this guy all together at the same time.
On chairs.
Standing there. And this guy was
turned
like,
around and responded.
yes, and called us meatballs. He says, shut up, meatballs. Right? So anyways, going back to it, so we're sitting there, and he's out there, and he's doing his dumb thing where he goes, right, and pats himself on the remember that?
Yep.
And he did that, and I watched Jim, and I can see his ears turning red. I see his cheeks turning red. I literally am watching, Dad, I'm watching the water boil, right? And then he blows up. He jumps up on his chair and blows up, and you just look up at him, and you're like this. You're just like eating popcorn, you go. And the popcorn comes out, and I'm sitting there going, I'm dead, I'm going to die.
Yeah, but what did Dad do?
And then Dad stood up on the chair next to you and said, yeah, you suck. And just, and then I went, okay. And I got up on the chair. Oh, yeah, my dad's going to say it for me. I don't want to get in trouble. You know? So that's what it was. So you remember Barry Horowitz, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes,
So,
I do.
do you remember getting up on the chair? Who else was there? Was there any other memorable wrestlers that you remember being there? Because I remember
No.
Jimmy and I talked about seeing Andre the Giant.
You don't remember
I did
Andre the
see
Giant
him.
walking by, and we could reach out and touch him?
I don't know.
'Cause we
if
were
that
right on the
was
ropes.
When I was there.
You might not have been there for that one.
I don't know. I don't recall that, but it doesn't. The most memorable was Horowitz. I mean, that's a memory that'll last
That's something.
forever.
Well, Dad, I want to show you something here. I was able to track somebody down, and I had this made.
AKA an important message, is from Grant to Jim Bob. Oh, excuse me, Jim. I remember you, Jim. I remember you, Meatball. Oh, yeah, I remember you, and I remember your brother, both sitting at ringside, yelling at me, screaming at me in that friggin' nothing happening building in Toledo, Ohio. The only thing good about Toledo, Ohio is nothing. It's friggin' cold. It sucks. I don't like it. But let's get to the heart of the matter, Jim. Yeah, okay, Jim. You want something out of me? The only thing you do good, Jim, is wake up in the morning and grab yourself a big bowl of Fruity Pebbles and think you're the man. Because I'm the man, Mr. Technical, Barry Horowitz. Never try. If you're trying to battle me in a battle of wits, you're unarmed, pal. I will be all over you like Batman's all over Gotham City. Superman won't get me off your goat-smelling ass. I will bring you into the ring. I will stretch you. I'll make you taller than Andre the Giant. I'll gouge your eyes. I'll forearm you. I'll out-wrestle you. I'll technically wrestle you. I will suplex you from here to friggin' Cincinnati Gardens. You know where that dump is. Okay, I think I've had enough of Jim. By the way, Jim, I've eaten protein bars bigger than you. This is Mr. Technical, Barry Horowitz, wishing you a very Merry Filthy Christmas, animal.
That's too good.
Well, we had that, Dad. I had, there's a thing called Cameo. And you can go on there, and there's all different kinds of stars, like Hollywood stars and singers and stuff. And they do that for extra money. And you can send some money to them, and they'll make a video for you. So I was going through there, and I happened to find some other WWE wrestlers. If you remember Tito Santana?
Yep, I do.
Okay, well, I made a video for my buddy Tim that I work with, Tim Duncan, and great guy. And anyways, I had Tito challenge Tim to a wrestling match, and it was hilarious. And we all were just laughing it up at work, right? And it was a great time. So I just started going through there looking for who else was in there, and I saw Barry Horowitz. I went, "Oh, I gotta do it for Jim." So I sent him the message and said, "We were in Toledo. We were little kids. You called us meatballs. We'd stand up on our chairs and da 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 da." And then he'd made that video.
That's crazy.
And I've had it for, what did I say, 6 months or something. I had it right before Christmas, so Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
And I just played it for Jim on the podcast that we just had last week, or the last podcast for wrestling. So that was awesome. But we wanted to show you that because that was just, we thought if anybody would appreciate that, that would be you because of the stuff that we went through with that. That was fun. That was some good times, man. Yeah, you are a meatball, Jim, just so you know.
Meatball.
I remember you.
Meatball.
That no good town, Toledo. That was awesome. That was really good. So we had fun with that. Well,
Got one more pick for you.
you got a picture? Okay,
Sure, if
send
you
it
want.
over, man.
I'm
Let's
not
see
sure
what you
Dad
got.
wants to see this one.
No.
Here's the no. I haven't sent it to you yet. Here, it's coming
Well,
right now.
I'm gonna wait here. Let's see what we got here. I got my
Yeah.
trusty cell phone ready to go, and see what Jimmy sends me. He sends me some stuff, but yeah, Dad, we talk about that wrestling stuff all the time. I mean, all the time. We get together, and we always end up on that at some point or another. It's just, especially with you going with us. Oh well. You want to show this? You want to show this? All right, here we go. Whoops.
What is wrong with you?
I zoomed in a little too much. Abby, don't look at this. Whatever you do.
Too much.
This is inappropriate. Really? What's going on? What's going on there, Dad? You are a handsome man, baby. Well, this is obviously there's palm trees.
Were all swimsuits like that?
So
That's Florida.
Yep, that's Florida.
Is that gum he's wearing? Is that juicy fruit? Gum? This is weird here.
Oh, the 60s, 60s style was even worse than the 70s style, I said.
Yeah. Almost looks like those Wheaties shorts that we had.
Okay, yeah.
Almost like that. But this is
That's not as embarrassing in the photo of you and me painting the shed.
No, that was pretty bad.
You can
Yeah,
throw
but
that
those
up there
socks,
if you
oh my
want.
God. If I can find it.
Mom
So
can.
where was this at? It was obviously Florida area.
Florida.
Florida.
It says Florida.
Probably Daytona Beach.
Probably.
You don't look like you're very happy there. You're just like sticking your tongue out.
He's not sticking his tongue out.
It looks like it, doesn't he?
He's licking the sweat off his lip.
That looks like he's sticking his tongue out to me. I think he's thinking about Barry Horowitz. Nah, there you go, Barry. Nah. Well, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff, Dad. I'm going to have to go to
That was just a few years ago.
just a few years ago.
Just a few.
Going to have to go to counseling after watching that picture there. A couple sessions or two.
What's wrong with you?
Lots of stuff.
I'm glad you got some new sounds, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to change it up a
About
little
time.
bit. Yeah, I liked Arnold.
8 episodes. That's him laughing when they're in Total Recall. When there's all the Arnolds, right? He's duplicating himself,
Uh-huh.
and then he laughs. Ha ha ha! You think it's the real Quaid?
You're right.
You're right.
You think this is the real Quaid? It is.
It is. that's when that laugh is. I do
Oh
believe.
my God. Well, Dad, I think we're out of questions. I think
I think we hit them all.
I think
Unless
we
you got
really
anything
hit
else
them
to add?
And I never had to take the fifth.
No.
No, not really.
How about that?
Not really. We'd like to have you on again sometime.
I got one more question.
Oh, he pulled one out of the hat, Dad. I'm sorry.
I don't know if anybody answered it, though. What's one of the most surprising things you heard about us kids, or me and Grant specifically, I guess, during one of the podcasts we were...
Are you out of your mind?
I think it was the surfing, the car surfing.
The car surfing?
Yeah. I was surprised.
Jimmy's idea.
That wasn't even that bad. Did do you remember the movie?
No. I don't
I can't
remember the
remember.
movie.
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Yeah, it was Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf, and I put that clip on the podcast where you can see him actually.
They drove
flipping
through
in
town. We just did it in the parking
in
lot.
a parking lot. Yeah, we weren't.
Okay.
One of them would be that I just think is funny, and it's really stupid, and I hope that none of the kids in our family will do this, but
Okay.
but we'll see. You were in the process of moving in to the Windjammer.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Are you going back to the van? Another purpose for having the van.
Yes.
And no, I don't mean to move. Well, you know, one of our favorite movies
Yeah.
back in the day was what? Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox.
And if anybody remembers that, what they did in the movie was
What do they do?
they called it surfing.
Yeah.
They somebody got on top of the van while the other person drove it down the street, and they did a little
So
surfing on.
Look, man, we got some fine new wheels, we got some good tunes, and a total disregard for public safety. You're right. Okay, let's go.
All right,
Surf's
baby.
up. Wait a minute. These waves are mine.
We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboard.
We weren't on the
down
road.
20.
I never
23.
saw that movie.
Oh.
You didn't miss much. Even Michael J. Fox would say, that's fine.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much. It wasn't that good of a movie. But, wow. So it was me being a surfer is what Dad was most surprised with. I was most surprised with your potty mouth when Barry Horowitz was in the ring.
Yeah, he was there for that.
Yeah, that's true. There's no surprise there. No surprise there. Well, Dad, we appreciate you being here in more ways than one. We love you deeply. We're so happy that you did this with us.
It was a good time.
And we want to do it again, but we got to have some better questions this time.
Oh, we got a line of guests waiting too.
We got a line of guests waiting that we got to do, but but
Somebody in the kitchen is still really upset about not being
there's a
here.
couple in the kitchen that are still upset about it. You've got 3 in the kitchen, only one of them's been on, so
Yep.
So we'll get everybody going. We're gonna go through everybody on the list, but we appreciate everything you've done in the past and in the future. We love you. Thank you for making us the men that we are very proud to be.
Absolutely.
And we're
I
so
love you
proud.
guys.
We're
I
so
love
proud.
You both.
Love you too, Dad.
We love you, Dad, and
Thanks for having me.
we hope that we wear this badge of honor known as Missin, that last name. You know, we both take it very seriously, and hopefully, Dad, we wear that badge of honor well for you.
Yes, you do.
We love you.
Love you guys.
We'll see you next time.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day, so much like a man I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you, can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get